live.
I think we're live. Hello, Mina.
Hello. How are you today?
I am doing very well. It's good to be here.
It's good to be here.
It's officially, well, no, unofficially after the summer, right? So August is over.
Yay.
It's September. 1 month roughly to Dreamforce. Big event for the
We're
Salesforce
super
community.
excited for Dreamforce because we have a lot of fun things coming up for Dreamforce.
Yes.
So you would probably like to stay tuned to everything that we have for Dreamforce. But what are we going to talk about today?
So today it's an interesting one, and I want to go very quickly so that we switch on our screen and we show you what we're discussing about. Yeah, don't touch my computer, Mina. You're going to make a lot of problems. Now, what are we talking about? We want to present ways to interact with our note taker during the conversation, right? So most of our focus has been to produce information updates. Salesforce updates, typically a lot of deep in-depth insights after a conversation. In this particular case, what we want to do is present ways in which we can interact with the note taker, the start of the journey of bringing something to life during the meeting, not only after the meeting, but also during the meeting.
So you mean that everybody can see what Vinton is capable of during the meeting? So it's a bit of...
Correct, but it's really done in three areas, right? So why would you want to interact with a meeting assistant, with an AI note taker like Vinton during a meeting? The first reason is for convenience, meaning you want to have something that helps you understand what's going on. Right? So you want to have a bit of a summary. Maybe you're joining late, you're catching up, or you missed something, so you want to summarize that. So you can ask that question, and we'll see what how it comes to life. The second important part is for courtesy, meaning that we've designed Vinton so that it gives every participant the opportunity to maybe pause or ask questions, but ask a summary, for instance. But really, the pause and the stopping is designed so that it's all participants, not only the host, can control whether a meeting assistant should be there or not. And this actually then trickles into the third important element of compliance, informing everybody up front there's a note taker, and then giving everybody the option and the opportunity to make sure that they're comfortable with the note taker being there, recording them and transcribing and creating insights, or if they're not, to...
So you're saying that now this gives everybody the power to decide whether or not they want to be recorded in a meeting.
Correct. Well, that power is there from the beginning, right? So the recommendation, the best practices, even the popping messages that appear during the meeting, and the fact that the presence of the note taker says, "Hey, I'm taking notes. Hey, I'm a meeting assistant," it upfront informs everybody that there's recording happening and there's transcription and AI insights. But this goes a bit further and gives control on how to deal with it should anyone, not be comfortable with it for any reason.
Okay.
Maybe that's a good moment for us to share.
Yes, let's see how it works.
Share screen and this guy. There we go. So should I add it to the screen? Oh, no, we're on. So yeah, what are we showing here? Well, you can see that we are now in a meeting. We are in a call. It's happening on Google Meet. In this particular example, we have Catherine joining us as part of this conversation. So it's us on this side and Catherine on that side. And then you can see, Mina's meeting assistant. So your AI note taker, Vinton, has joined the conversation. And we can see that the note taker has made through the chat known to everybody, hey, I'm joining this call to record and transcribe. So this is the compliance bit that we were talking about.
Exactly.
And then this actually starts to go into what we are talking about. So that idea of enabling everybody to deal with the fact that it's recorded and maybe do something. So what can they do, as it says there?
So it can pause. So it gives you an option to pause the recording if you want to pause it. So if you're in a meeting, you want to talk about something off the record, so you can just pause the recording over here. You can resume it when you want the recording to be the meeting to be recorded. So that's the next.
That sounds very difficult and complicated. Can you show me how it works?
So if I type Vinton pause here.
Vinton pause.
Oh, sorry. So now I'll get a message that the recording has been paused. Now we can talk about whatever we were talking about that we do not want to record it. It could be a conversation that is.
So yeah, at some point to say, look, I'm okay with your recording, but I want to tell you something about my personal life.
Yes.
I want to give you my credit card number. I want to tell you about something that is deeply affecting me.
Mm-hmm.
And, for that, this is very convenient, right? So you can pause at any point. And then, okay, now we this is out of my chest, it's off my chest. I'm very happy that, we talked about it. Yes. Let's actually resume the business conversation, maybe.
Before we go there, I want you to know that this is something that you have in the chat of the meeting recording. This is extended to the Vinton tab as well, your Vinton library. So if you go to Salesforce,
okay,
and you can see, so if you refresh this page.
So let's refresh the page. So this is the call where we're in.
Yes, and you can see that over here, the same.
Let me close this.
Yes.
For now.
So as an admin or as a user in the call, you know that the recording is paused. Yeah. So you can resume it from here.
Okay. So I can go into my Salesforce, into my Vinton library. In this case, it's yours in a demo dev environment that we're using for this demo today. And just there and then, you see that there's a recording in progress, but actually in this particular case.
Yeah. You can see the title of the recording, you can see the meeting link, you can see the time, so you know what it is about. And then you have some instructions on what would happen if you click.
So I can resume it from here?
Yes.
Should I click on it?
Yes, you should.
Okay.
So it's resuming.
So now it's resuming. So if we go back to the...
It's resumed.
So this is now saying...
Exactly.
The recording is now resumed.
Yes.
Okay, so it's informing everybody that we're back recording.
Correct.
As a matter of fact, this is now recording the call.
The way that we've designed it, we give you an option to pause and resume a meeting across different platforms. So we give you this option through your Vinton library as a user on your Chrome extension. If you're using a Chrome extension, you can do the same from over here and from the meeting chat. And all of these three would always be synced. So if you pause on one place, it will pause everywhere.
And when you say the chat, obviously we're using Meet right here, but it works with Teams and with Zoom in the same exact way.
So yes, it works with all the meeting platforms that we support, which is Zoom, Teams, and Google Meet. So you can see that this is working.
And it's very transparent as well because it's in the chat. So it's for everybody to see or everybody to use.
Exactly.
As we said earlier, right? Fantastic.
So another fun thing that we've added.
Fun. We like fun things.
So let's assume that you've joined this meeting late and you don't know what has been happening before you joined. Yes.
Oh, hello. Hello, Mina. Oh, what's going on with the meeting? Oh, sorry, I'm late. It's classic for me.
Maybe he was getting a coffee. So if you type in Vinton summary in here, you would get a little summary.
So I can interact.
Exactly.
And, with a lot of fantasy, we use the word summary. So Vinton summary, again, in the chat. So Google Meet, Teams, Zoom will work.
Yes.
And then I click return and the summary is being generated. So what is happening right now?
It takes a bit of a time. So we take the real-time transcript from the meeting platform. We then pass it to our LLM and generate a summary, which you have. So it takes a bit of a while. It may take 30 seconds.
So the team liked last week's demo and want to explore in-person meetings. So this was the conversation. We simulated the conversation, kind of a client, because this is supposed to be a call with a client or a prospect, right? So person meeting video calls. Setup was clear, no issue. The meeting assistant AI provided real-time note-taking with participant control over recording, including pausing, resuming. So this is what we were just discussing. Google Meet, Teams, Zoom, good job.
So
it ensures compliance by informing all participants up front and offers summaries to late joiners like me.
And now, there's another summary. So I'll explain what this is.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. So this is the summary. You can see that it covers all the parts. So there was an initial part that me and Catherine were talking about. We had a demo call and we were talking about something that you were not a part of. So you can see that's happening. And then there's like another discussion that happened about.
Oh, I just noticed we hit the 10 minutes mark.
Yes, so that's what's
This was
happening.
a 15 minutes meeting as it was planned.
Yes.
So what you're saying is 5 minutes from the end
Exactly.
of the meeting, be that an hour meeting, 2 hours meeting, or 15 minutes meeting, like in our example here, Vinton will automatically generate a summary,
which is here. If we just
where it says here's a summary of the call, the team liked the demo. So the first part we already saw, because it was already summarized for us, but it added these guys. So the next steps.
Yes. Right? So because if it was a fairly short meeting, so that's why the message came right after. But imagine that there was an hour-long meeting. You joined 30 minutes into the meeting and you wanted to understand what's happening. Then you can just ask for a summary. You have a summary. And now at the end of the meeting, just 5 minutes before the scheduled end time of the meeting, you will get a summary of the meeting and next steps for each participant.
So this is a productivity element of it, right?
Exactly.
Because it basically puts a bit of a reminder / pressure on participants. Say, hey, you're 5 minutes from the end of this meeting. This is what you discussed so far. These are the next steps that you've agreed so far. You may want to get it, done and wrapped up so that you're all on time and all.
Yes.
So that's a very cool. Feature. What is the underlying process here? So how are we able to make this happen? So there's obviously we're recording the call.
Yes.
We're effectively when we hit those buttons, right? So summary, we interact with it.
Yes.
We are basically creating a point in time up until which we capture the transcript. I think the transcript is the key here, right?
Yes, correct.
And we process it.
Yes. So what we do is note taker is in the call. It is listening to everything that we're saying. It has a transcript generated up until that point for Google Meet. We take that transcript, real-time transcript, up until the point where you send a message in the chat. We then send it to an LLM which would be the engine that you've chosen for your particular org. And then we will be like, can you generate a short summary? Again, there's a lot of very complicated prompts that are in the back end, and then they're working with it. But
I just want to pause it again. I really like that interaction with Mina's meeting assistant. And so at that point, it's combined, as you said, with prompts provided to the LLM, which in our case is either OpenAI or Gemini, right? And then results are coming back in two forms, right? So the first one was a summary.
Yes.
And then the second one is next steps. So really what we need in order to wrap up this meeting.
Exactly.
Resume this meeting. Vinton, resume. Sorry, I like to play with this.
So media backend gets.
Oh, you're being recorded now. The recording is now resumed, right? So it's just
And then because the meeting note taker is in the meeting, we have access to send the message in the chat. So we use that and we send this message in the chat. So there's a very complicated system that's running on the back end for this, but it's we've seen that a lot of our customers have really liked this feature, and it has helped them with their productivity. And also, I think it's like tells them a good reminder, as you were saying, that hey, it's the end of the hour. We have to get off this meeting. This is what we have to do.
And Mina, do we want to go a bit behind the scenes here? And how did we come up with this? Because I think it's a funny story, and we might as well share it with the world of LinkedIn in this case, and all the massive audience that is following us live. Hello there, we're in London. Now, clients were asking us how they kind of feel like it's an obvious thing to do to pause and resume a meeting, right?
Correct.
They felt it was provided by them when they use Teams or Zoom in their native recorder transcriber. And so they said, Vinton should do the same. And we explained that the way in which we implemented the constraints within which we operate don't allow us to effectively put a button on your Teams or put a button
True.
on your Zoom, right? So, and this was a limitation. So we kind of brainstormed a bit. And I remember the day when, and I think it was it Alkan that came up with
I believe, yes.
the
I
idea.
believe, yes.
So our, very brilliant Alkan came up with the idea of, well, wait a second, but what if we use chat? Because in the same conversation just before, another brilliant colleague of ours, Osama, had said we can start to think about using specific strings, as the sets of characters, words in the real world that are shared in the chat to kind of receive them as commands and then do something with the code. So combining that meant that we could effectively create a stop button, a pause button, and resume button directly and natively inside of all call handlers like Meet, Google, Google Meet and Teams and Zoom, without effectively putting a button on it. Right?
And also, I think we released our Chrome extension last release, and everybody loved that they could just pause and resume from the extension. And all of our customers.
Not everybody is using Chrome, so they were like, "Oh, well, I could, I'm using Teams, and Teams doesn't go into a browser, or I don't want to use it from a browser. And if I have a browser, I don't have Chrome." And, all of that, all those complications. So how do you simplify, right down to the, lowest level? Well, that's the way, right? So you're interacting directly in the chat, and you're asking effectively Vinton to take some actions. And that's from the pause and resume that then we started experimenting with, the summary and the next steps, as we saw here, either asked directly or used as an automated way that we trigger.
So we've just basically made sure that pause and resume is on every platform that you use our product on. So you go to the Vinton library, you have it there as well. You are in the meeting, you have it there as well. You prefer using Chrome extension, you have it there as well. So it's down to the customer on which is the most comfortable for them to use. So we've simplified things.
So what happens if, we talked about pause, resume, and stop.
Yes.
So what happens if we stop?
The note taker leaves the call. So if you go to the library, so there are 2 ways that you can stop.
Okay.
3 ways, actually. You can stop from your library.
This guy,
exactly.
Stop recording.
Yes. And then you can remove the note taker from the call if you're the host of the call.
So that will be by going here and doing remove from the call.
True.
From here.
But not everyone would have that permission.
Right.
Yes.
If I organize the call, like, the real life example is one of our clients, they are not always participating into the calls that they set up. A couple of examples there. I will set up a meeting for you and Catherine to, have a conversation. I'm the host, but I'm not planning to join. And in that case, you as guests would not be able to drop a meeting assistant from the call. So again, this brings it right here, and we can say, should we say Vinton stop, and then we see what's happening?
Yeah, absolutely.
So Vinton stop. This is a pretty definitive command, right? Because that's it, right? So Vinton stop means exactly that, Vinton stop. So I'll click return, and we are saying goodbye to Vinton. So at this point, our call doesn't have a meeting assistant in it. It's not only paused, it's effectively disappeared.
Yes.
Which in turn triggers the processing of the call, right?
Yes.
So now what is happening behind the scenes is that page earlier, I'll show it to you, is now changing to processing. The media is being processed, some of the insights that will go through the expected process of capturing the video, extracting the transcript, processing the transcript, dropping it into a Gen AI engine according to a set of prompts that will then in turn generate text that comes back to Salesforce, only Salesforce, because we are the only ones that do it natively in your library. And then Vinton will also go and look for the participants as contacts, leads,
and
users.
One thing that I forgot to mention, so you're typing in stop, resume within the meeting. Now you want all of these to be saved somewhere, so you can see in your Salesforce that what happened. As an admin, you would want to see that why did the note taker leave in the middle of the call, because if somebody has typed it and you were not paying attention to the chat message, or you were presenting and you didn't see it, then all of those events are captured within the audio note record, which is our main reference object. Bit technical, but the point is that all of these events, when somebody's stopping, when somebody's resuming, at what time somebody is stopping on resuming, is all saved in Salesforce. So you have that event captured somewhere in your audio note, and you can see that over there. So just so people who the admins would have visibility into it.
And what happens to the conversation when it was posed? Is there like a black gap in the video?
Yes.
So no transcript, obviously, because nothing was recorded, and no video because so, but it's still present, so you can still see that, for 2 minutes it was posed and it was kind of progressing. Okay, and the summary then eventually will be complete. It will not be only up until, but at this particular stage, whole of the conversation, because we dropped it at the end of the call. Now, in the same brainstorming session that we had, we started thinking about the future, right? If you combine, and I think this is obvious to I think people that are probably here, if you combine all the different elements, you have a live transcript, you have the option to interact with an intelligent being, Vinton, to produce a summary. At that point, you can actually do a lot more elaborated questions, like, or even trigger automatically some suggestions, right? So that's where I'm going.
Yes.
Right. So it could be, a competitor was mentioned, Gong or Otter or Fireflies in our world. These are the 3 key points with regards to, how you handle a competitor comparison. They're objecting on price. These are the 2 key kind of talk points to address an objection on price.
Exactly.
So forth, right?
So I think in the future, the way we see this moving is that it would be your assistant in a meeting. So it would help you with your meeting. So now, and it would just be for you. So right now you're seeing that this is in the chat, which everybody is looking at. But now where we want to go in the future is that you can use this because the infrastructure is there. We can build it for just either the library or in an application. So we're thinking into ways how we can help you during the meeting. Of course, we help you after the meeting, where you can see notes and you can ask Vinton about any questions, but we want to go beyond that, and we want to help you during the meeting as well, because we know that this is a value that we can provide. So that's where we are researching towards and seeing what would be the best possible way to achieve that.
In the meantime, we've processed the conversation, and you can see the time spent speaking, the topics, the minutes, the email follow-up. Catherine, to recap our conversation, the next steps that have been captured, the transcript, that's exactly where we were earlier. Some highlights here. What was the sentiment? We were very enthusiastic about these new features. So there's only, feature complexity caused slice editation and request, clear demonstration. So that's what. when I click on it, this is actually picking up on, me acting all confused and say, this sounds very complicated. We should show it. And that's, picked up as part of, the overall, sentiment, if you want, dialogue conversation. And then coaching, let's see how we did. Well, 78, it's good. The call effectively demonstrated product features and clear explanation and live demos. It lacked a stronger engagement. Fair enough. We didn't ask anything about, Catherine was in the meeting, and, we didn't give her the slightest chance to talk.
Well, we should have, right? Now we know that we should have.
We probably should have, definitely should have. Okay. Now, to wrap up this, let me actually stop sharing my screen. Where is that I remove here? There we go. Now, what is this new feature, and why did we do it? Let me see if I can grab this and bring it in front of us. Okay, so what is this feature and why did we do it? It's the first time that we are, serious about doing something during the meeting. We do a lot of stuff after the meeting, which is where, there's a lot to do. But, during the meeting becomes very interesting and starts with pause, resume, stop, summary, automated or requested. 3 reasons why we do it. We said it was, for, some courtesy. You should have control as a participant. Kind of, hey, I'm saying something, let me pause it for a bit. Do you mind if we stop and we drop the recording? The same actually extends to clients, right? So again, someone not feeling comfortable at any point in time, the recording is stopped.
True.
And then ultimately, importantly, an impact on efficiency and, the ability for everybody to be on point during the meeting. With summarization, that especially the automated summarization when we're nearing the end of a meeting, or importantly for a late joiner, remember I arrived late and I'm like, hey, what's going on? So let me ask a summary there.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just the first step.
Exactly.
It's just the first step. So we are moving in a direction where we are thinking about how we give value to our customers during and after the meeting. So we're developing on how we can increase the value that we already provide after the meeting with regards to CRM and how we can work with that, and also during the meeting. So these are the 2 directions that we're really researching and focusing on. And we've received very positive feedback as well.
Yeah,
correct.
No, absolutely. I think people are starting. AI note taker is nothing new, right? So, I mean, it's almost a commoditized solution. Everybody has one. I mentioned a few. The Otter, the Fireflies, the Read AI. What they're realizing is that there's a ton of very interesting information captured by those AI note takers that is not contributing to the narrative of the overall company, which typically happens in the CRM. So a lot of those come to us and they say, can you bridge the gap between my Otter and my Salesforce? The other thing that they're realizing is that most of those AI note takers are used on an individual basis rather than as a team.
Yes.
It's the collective knowledge that you're creating when you unify the data that makes the difference for the business. So that's why we're seeing this massive acceleration of demand for our solution. And as people realize, okay, I can record it. Okay, I can transcribe. Okay, I can have summaries and insights, and they can be according to my methodology and my. Where's that data? How can I use it every day? How can I have it at my fingertips in the context of my business data, right? So that's where.
And it's all very compliant as well. So it's not going anywhere you don't know. You're the owner of the data. It's all in your Salesforce. The transcript, insights, everything is in your Salesforce. As a business, you own.
When you bring up, right on the edge of ending us, did you see the news about the data breach with?
No, I haven't.
There was a Salesloft / Drift. Drift is a fantastic solution. Actually, it's been around for a while. There was a data breach that involved them, and kind of questions again, and brings up the security and the importance of keeping data safe, and they cannot be safer than in your Salesforce.
Correct.
And even recently, you probably have seen some reports about data breaches that involve Salesforce data, but they are actually caused by other solutions that are authenticating themselves inside Salesforce. So external solutions that have a way of interacting with Salesforce data, we're different, right? So we're built native. So we create Salesforce data like you would when you type your notes manually, or create a record. We do exactly that, and it remains there. It's not saved anywhere else. Secure, compliant in the platform. So I think that's maybe that's good. It's a good note on which to end. Yes. I think we're over time. I don't see the timer anymore.
Yes, we are.
Oh, there it is. Yes, 30 minutes.
30.
You've heard enough from us. Actually, if you endure this far,
thank you so much.
Thank you. Absolutely. You have all our love. Today, as always, we're open for business. So come talk to us. We will be at Dreamforce. So get in touch. We can meet up at the Yerba Buena Park or in other places around the Moscone Center, and we'll have a conversation about the future of automating your Salesforce updates, one conversation at a time. Right?
Yes.
Super.
Thank you so much, everyone, and have a nice rest of your evening. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.